Hey guys, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell to be updated every time I make a new video. Thanks, let's begin. If you'd like to support the channel even further, hit that join button next to the horror shark icon and join the channel for as little as $1.99 a month. It would greatly help me out and I would really appreciate it. You can get perks, so definitely check it out and let's get started. Man, 1974 was a great year for authors. Not only did a lot of them get a start at this point, but they got their start in this genre. Here's one of them. The Rats. This is the 1974 creature horror novel written by James Herbert. It came out alongside many other titans of the genre, such as The Swarm by Arthur Herzog, Werewolf by Moonlight by Guyan Smith, Jaws by Peter Benchley, and Carrie by Stephen King. 1974 was a damn good year. This book also turned 50 last year. I didn't get a review out in time. Damn it. The plot, it was anything but normal. A pack of rats attacking a defenseless drunkard in an abandoned house was easy to accept. However, when a dog and an infant are killed, as well as that infant's mother and a young student of a school being bitten, things become apparent they are not as they seem. Rats as big as small dogs are attacking London and are beginning to grow bold. They attack everywhere and anything and anyone. Their bite is lethal, with a terrible infection that comes with it. Their hunger is ever growing. Who can stop these horrible vermin? This is one of the first books I read after high school. I was never much of a reader back then. I collected the books, had a hard time focusing on them. Herbert's novel here is filled with debauchery and sleaze, and it caused quite a fair bit of controversy back in the day. Not that many books were so descriptive and grotesque in their way of describing mutilation back then. Sure, books were not that tame, but this took it a whole nother level. The believability of it is also a concerning factor. Rats were a real problem, still are, in places like London, New York, and, well, wherever you can find rats, I guess. They're always a damn nuisance. The rats being large and carrying an infection is just as terrifying back then as it is today. Everyone from the citizens to the local officials are terrified of an outbreak. Vile vermin and viruses. One bite will end a life. For the characters, we have Paul, who is the omniscient character. He knows the area where the student was attacked better than anyone. He comes to conclusions on what to do. That damn Paul Harris even concocts the perfect plan to exterminate them. During all this, he even has time to go on vacation with his loving and supportive girlfriend, Judy. Judy is a clothes designer, while Paul is a grade school teacher. He's not quite old enough to be considered out of touch and is able to fit in with the other students. Well, other students, he's the damn teacher. Judy doesn't really go beyond the nurturing role, but she is terrified of the rats, despite I don't think ever even sharing a scene with them. She might have seen a picture, but she's still scared of them. She's still scared. Foskins is the Minister of Health. He reveals that Paul's student and that mother died after receiving injuries from the rats. The infection literally tore them apart, stretching their skin and so on. It was a painful way to go. Foskin's ego is large, and he is quick to take credit on things. Even when he takes the blame for the rats not being dealt with properly, he still is in charge of the scientists and the board on how to handle this situation. He does something very foolish near the end, but I don't quite understand why he did it. He did not feel defeated, and he certainly didn't want to lay his life on the line. As he said, he was far too important to be let go. There is a reason the rats are attacking people in London. The origin is scary enough. They're basically a nuclear weapons result from testing in New Guinea. Great Ratzilla. Compared to ordinary rats, they might as well be. How they got to London, I will leave to the reader to find out. I've read this book at least twice and listened to the audiobook just as many times. David Rintoul's narration is prim and proper and is a stark contrast to the gnarly graphic scenes he has to describe. It's as if he were painting a bloody picture of Jack the Ripper's victims with his words. You can just feel the filth. The settings from a picturesque British countryside to the slums of London, which are grimy and disgusting, are all wonderfully described. There is a scene where there's some vagrants being torn apart by rats. It's a filthy scene. Also, to harp on that scene a little bit, it's not really a negative, just a cautionary warning. You get to know a ton about a particular vagrant. Her whole youthful story that leads down to the path she walks now. It's sad, depressing, and about 20 pages or so. It may be padding, but it was well done padding. And it's not the first nor last time he does it in the book. He does it a few times. Sure, as he gets later into the story, Herbert tones it down a little bit, which shows he is a very strong writer. He knows not to push it too far, because you know what the inevitable outcome is by now, and you're just waiting for it. Now, to harp on something that the critics harped on viciously when this book was first released. My harping's a little bit different, though. The gore! This book is vile. And while the deaths are brutal and gruesome, there are no creative killings. In fact, there's a lot of lack of originality in terms of the deaths in this book. It's very to the point. But the descriptions are what's gory. The very idea of a rat biting you will lead to death is horrifying in of itself. What about getting swarmed by hundreds of thousands of rats? Maybe not hundreds of thousands, maybe thousands. Maybe just hundreds. Who knows how many of them there actually are. It is enough to drive one mad with disgust. We get countless bloody bites. A rat's literally burrowing its way inside someone by digging their claws into them. There's even a couple who are found dead. They were locked in a loving embrace as they were torn apart, leaving their skeletons in an everlasting pose of lacerated love. Descriptions are fierce in this book. People don't make it out easy. The rats attack so many places. It's not just bomb sites and homes that they invade. They invade a subway, a zoo, and a movie theater. These rats are insane. It is madness. It's mostly during the second act. Overall, this is one trashy classic. It's despicable and depraved, but still reigns class. The horde of rats are something to be feared. I have read all 3 books, and I can't wait to dive into the sequels again in due time. But they do continue. Here's to you, rats. That's gonna do it for this video, guys. I have been your host, Brian Gatto. Make sure to like, comment on, as well as share this video. Like my Facebook fan page, and also hit that notification bell to be notified every time I make a new video, and as always, say subscribe. Rat noises. How predictable.